Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are for the Thursday night game between the Melbourne Storm and the Penrith Panthers in what was originally billed to be one of the games of the season, the rematch of last year's grand final. It was going to be the clash of the giants, as it were. This one's a little different though to what you'd normally expect between these two sides, just because there's a few outs for the Penrith Panthers, and not to mention the fact that they are coming off a pretty remarkable loss to the Sydney Roosters, one of the biggest upsets in NRL history. So it'll be really interesting to see what we get from the Penrith Panthers tonight. I think particularly their leaders, Nathan Cleary and Isaiah Yeo, have a bit of a point to prove. They set their standards so remarkably high and fell below that. They did. That's the cold hard truth. That's what they'd say about themselves. So they want to come back up and meet those standards, but they're against the biggest test you could conceivably come up against right now in the NRL. Not to mention the fact Dylan Edwards, the ever reliable fullback, is out of this game. He's replaced by Tom Jenkins, who's one that I don't think anybody really saw coming. Signed from the Knights. He's obviously a Penrith junior, but only ever really played on the wing and in the centres. So to see him named at fullback was a surprise. He's obviously there because Dane Laurie is out injured as well. We also just saw in the last hour or so Casey McLean in jersey 24, who was originally supposed to be dropped from the side after a poor showing against the Roosters, but has been recalled. So he's on one wing with Brian To'o moved to the other. The other major news is Blaze Talangi, the high-profile signing from the Parramatta Eels, will come over and start on the bench. He hasn't played NRL yet for the Panthers, but Brad Schneider drops to 18th man in place of Talangi. He played centre in the New South Wales Cup last week, despite being signed to the club as a 5'8". So it'll be interesting to see where they kind of inject him in to this game. Let me have a little look at the chat. Jeez, okay, there's already a heap of you here. Thank you very much for all coming and hanging out. Arlo says it's green. Yes, sorry, I completely forgot to mention that. So this is a different suit jacket. It's not the perfect fit, I'll be real. The quality is pretty terrible. But that's just because it's really hard to get like a high quality, very green suit. So I recorded my next video today. It's coming out Saturday, and that's like the debut of this suit. But I thought, you know what, I'll give those who are joining the stream tonight a little bit of a like pre-access to the change suit after a full year. I have a little read of the chat now, talking about Parramatta and the Cowboys being spoon contenders. Yeah, and a bit embarrassingly for me that like Parramatta particularly, I predicted to finish pretty high. But it's Moses being out. I mean, that's not the be all and end all, but certainly they'd be going a bit better if Moses was there. And then that puts a spotlight on Dylan Brown, which is probably something I shouldn't get into, the way all that has been reported. Red Vielka says, let's get a Raiders clap for Leaguie. What, is that an insinuation I'm a fan of the mighty Canberra Raiders? Those of you who saw my Instagram story the other day would have seen that I didn't run into Ricky Stewart. I was waiting at pedestrian lights and this car goes past. Ricky Stewart's driving it and he just looked so angry. It was a bit of a traffic jam. He was like shouting and stuff. And I thought, geez, I would not want to be on the receiving end of that. No, thank you. Good to see Arlo back. That's cool. MD8 says, hey, Leaguie, if I may ask, will this make you commit even worse than war crimes if the Panthers win? I mean, the odds are not in their favor, that's for sure. I mean, can you get much worse than war crimes without me getting demonetized right now? Probably a bit of a game I shouldn't be playing. But no, look, I mean, if anything, actually, to be fair, I think it would be pretty cool if Penrith won this, being the big underdog. Who doesn't like to see an underdog story? Just like, last week they were the victim of one. It was great, and this wouldn't quite be the same level, but it would be pretty solid. So yeah, Golden Point win. Cleary ices the kick, says Danny. It's a bold prediction, but yeah, we've seen him do that before. Lancaster says, first stream I've made it to since the comp started, and only the second live match. Damn, I didn't actually even realize that that was the case, but I guess it's true. Yeah. Sorry, I've just blatantly said that I didn't recognize you in the chat. No, I did. Obviously, Lancaster, I did. It's a shame you haven't been able to make one so far. Granted, I haven't done many. I wasn't able to stream last week, so you haven't missed much. Don't worry. But it is good to have you back. Money Explained says, I don't follow or watch the NRL. I'm just here for the GOAT, the Leaguie. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, Lancaster, I'm sorry. Live streaming, you just ramble and say shit. I didn't realize you'd been gone, but it's not like I didn't realize you were gone. I just didn't realize you were gone. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Forgive me. And you said as well, I can improve upon your war crimes for a price. That's ominous as hell. Maybe it's a good thing I forgot that you were not here. Maybe you're not the kind of character that I should be associating with. Who knows? Red Violka says Leaguie is a Canberra Storm. What do we got here? Storm Sandverogos support. That's a word. That is one of the words of all time. I'm a fan of one of these teams that you can see here. So there you go. Hell of an insight. That guy says, shake my head, this is treason. I'm gonna have to do a proper Sheev Palpatine autistic screeching spin attack. Hey, look, if you want to do one of those, I'm not personally liable for any damage that you cause to your surrounding area. I just want to make that abundantly clear. Krishan says, League, I'm scared for tomorrow because my Wires team play tomorrow. They do. They play the Roosters, which I think is one of the games of the round. I wanted to stream that one originally, but I am unfortunately not able to watch that game. So yeah, I think those two teams are really well matched, both coming off wins after losing in round one in quite disappointing fashion. Home advantage, I think, for the Warriors will be a really big thing. So we'll see whether they can get up, but I think that's one of the most fascinating games of the round, genuinely. I mean, as I said earlier, this game should have been, but it's not quite the billing that, you know, we would expect from this fixture between these two teams. But Warriors Roosters certainly is. Dolphins Tigers, that's another. I'm just looking at the draw. Dolphins Tigers is another really good one, actually. I'm surprised the Tigers are outsiders for that game. I know it's in Redcliffe, but Dolphins are 15th, Tigers are 7th. I think Tigers looked pretty impressive. Not so much in the first half last week, but they really clicked. And Dolphins haven't fired much of a shot so far. So I'd definitely be tipping the Tigers in that one. And it's not just because 50% of my fans seem to be Tigers supporters and I'm pandering to my audience. Maybe slightly. Could be. I will neither confirm or deny those allegations. Titans Knights actually on Saturday as well. I think Titans might be favorites for that. Last I checked. Not that I'm looking to promote betting odds, but they showed quite a bit of fight against the Doggies last week. Knights have gone 2-0. That's been a good start for them, but we'll see in that game and then closing out the round. Man, Sea Eagles Raiders. Tom Trbojevic has been ruled out of it. They'll probably move Lehigh Hopewadi to fullback and bring in Tommy Talau into the back line, but that's a fascinating one. Raiders always do so much better than they should, I think. They always outperform their team on paper. So looking forward to it. Danny earlier said, I don't think Moses fixes much at the Eels. As a Tigers fan, that was poor from Eels. 6 back-to-back sets on our try line. Nothing. I mean, proud of the boys for that defensive effort. I love Buller. I think he won't fix their issues. Their issue right now is their forward pack. Weirdly, they don't really seem to want to name their big names in the forward pack. Guys like Bryce Cartwright, Ryan Madison, and even Charlie Geimer, and Kelma Tuolangi actually as well, played reserve grade last week. So it was a weird one. But I think Moses certainly makes the situation better. He's the kind of halfback that can kick a team out of trouble. Ronald Volkman is not that. So yeah, certainly, like, I think they'd still have lost both games, and fundamentally that's what matters, but we might not be quite as concerned. So yeah, looking through the chat. Oh, Krishan's going to the game tomorrow. That's cool. I mean, I've never been to Mount Smart Stadium. I would love to. It's absolutely a bucket list thing for me. And I'm glad that they're still getting good crowds. I feared that they might not after a disappointing season last year, but the cultural aspect of Up the Waz, that lives on. Lancaster says, normally I'm a general neutral with a few slightly favoured teams. This year I'm an unashamed Tigers bandwagoner, as I think a lot of people are. And it's just good to see that team going, kind of well. They competed in the first game for sure, and obviously the second one was quite a dominant victory. So not too far from reality. They could be 2-0. It's been a good start for them. I'm pretty encouraged, and looking forward with their fixtures. I can't remember who they have after Dolphins. I have a little look, but I remember thinking this is like a actually pretty good opportunity for them to go 3 in a row. It's Warriors in Campbelltown after Dolphins, so like winnable, very, very winnable. They could have a really good start to the season. Red VLK says Tiger Walker secretly has the Leaguie at gunpoint, making him say good things about the Tigers. See, Tiger, they've realized that you're here. I told you, my audience are clever. They will realize that you're here with an AK-47 pointed at my cranium. Blink twice if you need help. Blink 3 times if you're a Dragon's super. I feel like maybe, I'm definitely going to be blinking throughout this stream. I feel like I'm going to blink 3 times. Don't get too excited when I do. TX Rail says, I hope they get Nelson on right away. I was so surprised to see him named in the reserves. I don't know what's up with him and the Storm. It feels like they just aren't working together right now. They don't have a really good working relationship. But then, like, in the finals last year, he was their guy, and he's been recalled into the side now. And if he's not playing first grade, surely he can go play first grade somewhere else. So, I'm not sure. Yeah, he is in the interchange, TX Rail, but, like, he was initially named in the reserves and then promoted into the interchange. So, yeah. Krishan says, Leaguie, you're not talking to anyone because Tiger is at camp. Yeah, he wants you to think he's at camp. He actually just tracked down my place of residence. and yeah, bought the Kalashnikov. So, who's winning the premiership? It says MD8. I think we're going to see the team who win the premiership tonight. I think it's going to be the Melbourne Storm, and I think they're going to win pretty comfortably this evening. So we'll see whether my little scoreboard down here gets a bit of a workover this evening. We'll see. Arlo says, me and my dad and his friend are going to Tigers versus Wires. As a Wires supporter, we're getting carjacked if we win. It is Campbelltown. You can't rule anything out. That's very true. That is very true. Lancaster saying, Tiger's so cheap, nobody should be using a 47 in the age of 1 Kalashnikov. I don't know my arms, okay? I have no idea. I just said gun names that I know. I was going to say machete, and then I was like, wait, that's not a gun. Melbourne versus who? My preseason prediction was Melbourne Cronulla, and I'm going to stick with that. I'm just going to turn my microphone down a little bit. Looks like getting a little bit of interference. We're okay now. Okay, let me know if like the audio balance is now terrible, but I feel that I've made it a bit better. So the Panthers lining up in the sheds. This is, broadcast camera in the changing rooms. Not wanting to foreshadow anything here on the Leaguie channel, but that may or may not be what I've just spent the last freaking month looking into, and what the video on Saturday is going to be. And like I've never been so excited about a video. It's like, I think the NRL 2024 rewind was the best video I made, but this is good for different reasons. You can't compare the two. Just enjoy them both. This is one of the most important videos, I think. It's definitely the most important video I've made. It has the potential to really change things. So looking forward to showing you guys that on Saturday. Isaiah Yo walks out on the hallowed turf of Amy Park, a place I've been lucky enough to be. I was there last year, and it's a hell of a stadium. I really, really like Amy Park. I was actually just down in Melbourne for the Formula One, and I thought briefly, could I stay a few more days, see this matchup? I'm sort of glad I didn't, given the outs that Penrith have, but I mean, looking at it now, the scenes are pretty cool. I gotta say, the scenes are pretty cool. But the lights come on and off and all that. Lancaster says, I also state I know nothing about advanced or old cheap arms on the advice of counsel. I am a law student. I can say that's a really good thing that you've just done there. Quote Leaguie, never mentioned 16 grand final golden point around a Sharks supporter. It's true. If there's any Sharks supporters in the chat, then Sorry to have just traumatized you. I hope... Sorry, Lancaster says, anyone else having major roboting from Leaguie? I've had issues with this microphone before, but I was pretty sure I fixed the wall. So hopefully that's not the case. If you guys are, let me know and I'll try and fix it again. But shouldn't be. Shouldn't be too major anyway. Oh, hang on. There's been a change made to the Storm team. That was not on NRL.com. Or have they... Nah, I think Fox have made a mistake. They listed Kane Bradley at fullback for Storm. No, I don't think that's the case. Fox caused a little bit of a mini heart attack for me, though. NBA is completely unrelated, but why do Roosters steal everyone's juniors? That's because they don't have juniors. Like, legitimately, if you look at the demographics of the eastern suburbs, like, it's just not rugby league area, so they have to. Otherwise, they'd have no one. So the Storm run out. It's the pink versus the purple. Is that what we had in last year's grand final? It was, wasn't it? Pink versus purple. Everyone likes Roosters fans, says MD8. True words never been spoken, my friend. Absolutely right. Couldn't agree more. Very true. And salary cap. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely Roosters fans are intensely disliked. That is for sure. It'll be interesting to see how Melbourne respond coming off the bye. Just because last year we tended to see teams not do really well coming off the bye week. So whether they start a little bit slowly, we'll see, especially given how red I'm really going to be at the start of this. As always, by the time the stream goes through YouTube systems and all that, it'll be a little bit behind, but I will tell you exactly when the ball kicks off for me in case you want to sync up. Here we go, getting into the first stream in a couple of weeks. I need to loosen up a bit. Indian Jack plays, good to see you. I think this might be the first time you've joined one of the streams. I don't recognize that name. I'm a Rapidos fan. My condolences. No, you won two in a row. That's very good. I'm very happy for you. There's the kickoff from Ryan Pappenhausen. It's a bit of a low bouncing one. Bounces up though to I think that was Jack Cole. Yeah, it was Jack Cole. Still getting used to some of these new faces in the new season. Always happens. So Penrith do get it just over their 10. It's not the best kick return. Moses Leota only makes another 5 or so meters. I joined a few months ago. All good. Yeah, I mean, I have the memory of a goldfish. I completely forgot that Lancaster, one of my absolute regulars and favorite commenters, hadn't been here for a while. So, yeah, I've embarrassed myself already a few times in this short stream. Speaking of the devil, he says, most places have a salary cap. Melbourne have a salary hat. Roosters have a salary sombrero. Raiders have a salary yarmulke. I don't know what that is. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Cleary kicking from inside the 30, not angled towards the sideline particularly, only lands on the Storm 30 in the hands of Xavier Coase, who does get picked up a little bit there, but really good field position to start the game here for the Melbourne Storm. It's glitching? Really? It might be on YouTube's end. It looks completely fine on my software, so potentially your home internet or YouTube is doing something. Nick up to halfway. Malka, okay. The little half-cap Jewish men wear. That's a pretty funny joke. Muster now across to Sean Blore, who gets it over halfway. They'll, with a decent run here, be in position for an attack and get Grant a little out of sync there. Really? I'll try and fix it if it is that bad, but that's interesting because it looks fine on my end. Give me a sec. Okay, any good? The audio is glitching and it started when you changed the... It started when I changed the audio balance. Okay, I've changed it back. We'll see. Okay, sorry about that though. I'm not really sure what caused that. Hopefully it's fixed. We'll see. Yeah, good. Nice. It is better now. So Storm now... Oh, as they draw a penalty, it's... Is that Will Warbrick? Is he just grown out his hair? Oh no, it's Grant Anderson. Right, okay. I thought that's a very Grant Anderson looking Will Warbrick. I was going to say Warbrick. Nice. Okay. So Storm will kick for touch from inside their 40. Pappenhausen's mullet. It just gets stronger every year. It's wonderful. Not the biggest crowd there in Melbourne, but it does make sense. AFL has started now compared to our round one, and it is a Thursday night as well. The Storm tap and go. Katoa into the defensive line of the Panthers, and we'll get to see like a decent attacking opportunity here at the end of this set. Hala says, I love Leaguie cast. I sleep to the sound of the Leaguie talking. Jesus. Again, my condolences. I'm really sorry you have nothing better to listen to. It's actually been a little while since I uploaded on that, but it's just because I've been working so hard on this main channel video. You'll see when it comes out. It's a good one, but yeah, Leaguie cast will come back very strong very soon. I do not have Supercoach Indian Jack. I have Fantasy, which I don't actually play all that much. I pick and stick. Set and forget, I think, is the official name. Storm on the 4th. Attacking now inside the 10. Hughes, oh, he had Munster out the back. Sorry, he had Pappenhausen out the back, but gave it short to Katoa. He's on the journey to being the biggest bogan known to man. And the biggest bogan known to man gives a try assist to Grant Anderson, almost on cue. And at first attacking opportunity, it's the Melbourne Storm making it 4 points to 0. Storm looking red hot. Anderson, who's bound for the Brisbane Broncos for next year. No official announcement on that yet, but I'm pretty sure that is happening. Good ball playing there from Pappenhausen. He's really introduced that into his game. He was always a really good running weapon, but now that was quick hands. And Anderson done well to step back inside and not just try and go for the acrobatics in the corner. NRL Head, good to see you. Yeah, Arlo says 5k subs. Very true, yeah. It's funny, it doesn't feel like a big moment to me because I was sitting so close to 5k for a really long time. But it's really good, really cool to be at 5k. 10k now in sight for the end of the year, we'll see. Let me, NRL Head says tip. Very much think Melbourne are going to win this. I'll start up a little poll. That's been a nice idea people have suggested in the last few games. As to who you guys think will win. We'll see. I reckon, I mean, if there's many people saying the Panthers, you're bold. You're bold individuals. After the start that we've just seen. Indian Jack says, last time I was here, you were at 4.6k subs. Well, I'm glad to have improved. I was also in a different suit when you were last here. So, yeah, everything's changed. Nick Meaney with the kick. Not quite from the sideline. I'd say that's about 5 meters in. Hits it well, hits it true, and he makes it 6. He's become a really good goal kicker over the years, has Nick Meaney, and it's an early lead for the Melbourne Storm. Okay, wow, there's actually a lot of love for the Panthers. Are you guys just doing this to prove me wrong? Or do you genuinely believe the Panthers are going to win? Well, see, I'll almost certainly be made to like eat my words because my tips are terrible. I am so bad. I'm really good at, I think, talking about rugby league, but I just can't predict. I'm so bad at predicting. So Penrith kick it off. And it's a kick return here from Stefano Uto Ikamanu, one of my favorite names to say. NRL Head genuinely thinks Panthers will win. Nice. Lancaster said, I saw someone say they thought Penrith would get faded which is nuts. I don't see Penrith ever being faded, and they're the only ones I could see winning the Prem after conceding 50. It's true. I don't think this will be like, you know, a absolutely huge, like, we're not talking 50-0 win or anything like that. But I do think it will be rather comfortable for Melbourne. If the margin is, you know, 18 or more, or if you want to go the betting way, 13 plus, I'd be tipping Melbourne 13 plus. As they continue to make a break down the edge here, just needed a slightly better bounce. Oh my God, one of the Panthers has gone through flying. We got a penalty. Oh, it's Cleary. Cleary is in all sorts of trouble here. He flew through. Oh, it's Hughes as well. It's the two halfbacks, so they're taking each other out. I saw them both fly through. Yo is consoling Cleary. Yeah, they're both really, really in some trouble. I think Hughes is a little worse than Cleary is. Did Cleary just hit the ground with his head? I'm not sure if the penalty was against Munster. I think that's a little bit harsh. It doesn't seem to be head contact with Hughes. It is a really, like, weird kind of moment. I'm not really sure. I mean, granted, we haven't really seen a great angle yet, I think, but I'm not sure what Hughes has wrong with him. No, they both kind of seem that it looked awful to start with, but they kind of seem okay. Caleb, good to see you here. All good, no worries. Honestly, for a Cowboys fan such as yourself to still be following the NRL at all, I respect it. So Cleary does walk off the field here. Will it be for a HIA? Surely both of them will have to go for HIAs. And Blaze Talangi will come onto the field. So Jack Cole and Blaze Talangi now faced with beating the Melbourne Storm. Is Hughes still on? Oh, and the ball stays in. Will it bounce to the Panthers? It will. No, knock on to Casey McLean. Casey McLean is fuming. Yo's going to challenge it. It's all happening in this game. What the hell's going on? They're not going to challenge it, though. Are they? Yes, they are going to challenge it. Wowzers. Okay. Penalty should have been against Cleary anyway. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. I've got to say, it was a really weird position to be in. Good jump from Pappenhausen. Very reminiscent of the, was it the 2020 grand final? Where he did that? Just a bad bounce for the Storm. I'm not actually sure what they're checking right now. Oh, that he knocks it on. Okay. Wow. This has been a really frantic start to this game. Is it raining a bit? Yes, it is raining down there. Here's the news. Category 1. Category 1. I'll tell you what. Fantasy and Supercoach players, myself included, have just fallen to their knees. It is Panthers ball, NRL head. Yeah, Pappenhausen knocked that on. So, as they rightly say, Andrew Voss in the commentary, no Dylan Edwards, no Nathan Cleary, obviously no Jerome Luai. Hell of a change. Mitch Kenny is the only one left, him and Yo. It is a bizarre 5 minutes. But Penrith will get a little bit of an opportunity here off the back of the penalty. Kenny, across to Yo. Yo will take on a lot of responsibility here. Yes, Danny, Talangi is on. So I wonder who... I mean, Talangi's not a halfback. Surely Jack Cole will play halfback. I don't know much about Jack Cole, to be honest. I didn't see him really coming through, but I even have a temptation to put Yo at halfback. Potentially. He could do it. Talangi with a kick. Caught by the Melbourne Storm. It's Grant Anderson, I think. A lot of... No, this is Grant Anderson. A lot of them look like each other. I think Grant Anderson looks like Trent Loiero. People who had Haas are so smart. I actually do have Haas. It wasn't in my video, but I had to make some changes after the video, so... And thank you, Caleb. Yes, the suit. It is a new one. It is more green. You'll see it in the video on Saturday. So Hughes, the man who originally looked a little bit worse off, I've got to say, draws a penalty. He gets to stay on the field. He was the one who was like really down. I'm surprised that he hasn't been put off for a HIA yet. Indian Jack, you're my number one favorite YouTuber. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's very flattering. Thank you. Thank you. Lancaster says, I'm glad they called it a Cat 1, though. I very distinctly remember 2023 prelim where Cleary got absolutely munted and they refused to HIA him because they knew he'd be out of the grand final. I think I do remember that. Yeah. It is good. I mean, he was... I think his head hit the ground. Maybe with Hughes, they reviewed the footage and saw, like... it wasn't contact with his head. It didn't look like contact with his head, but then he was lying down on the ground for quite a while, which isn't necessarily head contact, but normally they tend to have precautions with that and take it really conservatively. So Storm in attack, approaching the 20, Pappenhausen with the ball, out to Howarth. Had Coates sort of on the outside there, but they were running out of room between the sideline. So on the fourth, Pappenhausen with the ball across to Munster, who chips it through to try and find Katoa. Oh, it's room service. It's room service. They're just too good. Wow. Eliezer Katoa. It was an ambitious play. I've got to say, when Munster kicked it, there were a lot more Panthers around than there were Storm players. But wow. A real set play. On the fourth as well, they still had another play left in them. What a try indeed. Hang on. I've got to plug in my laptop. There we go. This is a beautiful little chip. It wasn't actually a great bounce for Katoa. I said room service. I take that back. He had to kind of reach out for that one. Fullback, who was Penrith fullback? Thomas Jenkins, Penrith Junior, played for Newcastle last year, came back. He's normally a centre or a winger. I've never seen him play fullback. I don't think anyone has. At least the vast majority of people haven't. He hasn't played it in the NRL, to my knowledge. He wasn't exactly sprinting across the field, but at the same time, the ball was spread pretty quickly. Leaguie, the bring back the Biff lady? What about the bring back the Biff lady? Was she on the screen? I thought she's a Souths fan. Did I miss the bring back the Biff lady? I love that lady. She's the GOAT. There? What do you mean there? Where? Clock's still beating Melbourne. Come on, Thunder Bros. Melbourne are washed if they can't beat the clock. Fives says, so unfair, no Cleary. Well, I mean, unfair, unfortunate is what I would say. Yeah, and all right, he was jogging across the field. I got to say, he didn't show a lot of urgency, Tom Jenkins there, but at the same time, like, he wasn't going to get to that kick, so I can sort of understand it. Uto Kamanu with a big run off the kick return now to the try scorer Katoa, who Lancaster has just traded into his fantasy team. That's very astute. Danny says Yo needs to lock in and lead from the front. They need his leadership. They do. They certainly do. And it's not often that this Penrith side find themselves in this position, having lost last week and it's not looking good to start this week. I said it would be Melbourne that could potentially start slowly coming off the bye, but they've just looked red hot. Hughes kicks from just over halfway. It's a very high one. Not a lot of depth on that. They'll contest it and just knock it on. So Penrith ball. On the 20, it's not a terrible position to turn over the ball, really. To'o now. Here's one for you guys. Let's see. I want to see kind of votes in the chat. So in my video that I recorded today, I refer to Brett Morris as the greatest winger in the NRL era. Is it him or is it Brian To'o? I think it's a two-horse race. Which one do you think is better, B-Moz or To'o? I agree with Lancaster though. Yo's going to have to play 7 and 13 simultaneously. Oh, Jesus. They haven't found touch again. That's just unforgivable. I mean, granted, Cleary wouldn't be doing it, but he's so good at that. He was well over the sideline. Jack Cole's devastated with himself. Oh, geez. Big hit from Udoka Manu on Kenny. 6 more. Geez, Melbourne just working their way down the field here. Munster does a little spin. Tell you what, he gets 10 meters off it. Not a bad run there from the Mad Dog. 8 missed tackles to 1 for Penrith. And another 6 again. Melbourne cooking right now. Grant now through Munster Hughes. They've got an overlap. Oh, a knock on there, I think, from Grant Anderson. And he goes over the sideline anyway. There's a good defense there, Penrith. Melbourne still looking very threatening. Caleb says, why are the Cowboys so bad? Yeah, honestly, it's a valid question. I don't really know the answer. I think the answer isn't Jake Clifford, though. That's who they've put in. Just got dominated forward pack first 2 weeks. Taumalolo's still... Is he in the side this week? I know he played reserve grade last week. Let's have a little look. Yes, starting front row. That's a good thing for them. Obviously, they need him to be who we know he can be, and he hasn't been that guy for a number of years now, but they look like a side who could use a guy like Helam Lukey, who's obviously out through injury. And they draw a penalty through Liam Martin. Munster's complaining that the bumper bar was up. See you, Indy. All good. Lancaster says Melbourne need to put 1 or 2 more tries on before Penrith get back on their feet, else this might actually be dangerous. I do agree that with Melbourne, like at the moment, 12-0 you would take, given the balance of play, but you wouldn't be overly happy with it. I think that's around what they would just expect. They'll want another one soon. 5 says, yo, Leaguie, the Tigers make finals. I think I predicted them like 12th or 11th. Big hit from Sorensen on Grant. Grant didn't quite reel back too far, though, and gets another go at him. Kenny, across to Yo at first receiver, finds Cole, who puts Tungo underneath. I think it is. Oh, what's happening with the lights? Leota on the 4th. 2 left to go. Kenny. Yo again, first receiver. Now Cole. They've got some numbers there. Talangi to McLean. Okay, so McLean's playing center. To'o on the last. Talangi with the kick. It's big across the field. Finds Coates. What a take. He is just that guy, isn't he? He is that guy. Not a bad kick though from Talangi. That was probably the best set Penrith have had so far in this game. Alamotti is right wing. Yeah, it's interesting. NRL Head says, I think Storm are super happy that the best player ever isn't on the field. They certainly would be. Yeah, you'll take that any day of the week. Lancaster says, from the looks, I think Taulungi's playing 7 at the moment, which might be good signs for Penrith. I think Tolau will have the 7 next week while Cleary's out. Well, Tolau's the one that's played halfback in reserve grade, so I would be inclined to agree. Taulungi playing halfback is interesting, given that I think he came through as a fullback, was signed as a 5'8". I would think that Cole being a half coming through would be the one to take the dominant role, but I don't necessarily disagree. He's certainly being the one on the last tackles to get the ball and do the kicking. So McLean at centre with a hit up there. Taulungi gives it to Alamotti. That's a solid run. Gets one-on-one with Utua Kamanu. Over halfway now, the Panthers. Lindsay Smith tackled low by Grant, who does get in the way a little bit there, but I think Kenny was milking it. Cole puts the kick up. Coates under it again. I think Tunga got in the way, and that's a Melbourne penalty. Disruptor? Is that the old Disruptor coming back? 5 says, next week I want Taulungi 6 and Tolau 7 with no Cles. Yeah, I saw a lot of people calling for the dropping of Jack Cole. I don't know why you would give him this game and then drop him after this, because he's never going to do well against Melbourne, especially with Cleary out. Like, it would be kind of harsh if you don't drop him coming into this one, but you do drop him afterwards. And yes, Arlo, I am in Canberra. Home sweet home. Sean Bloor with the run up to halfway. Panthers Junior, I do believe, him and his brother came through at Penrith, and they get 6 again. Lancaster says, I don't know, I think Melbourne would love to have the best ever player on the field. Having Cam Smith would turn the stacked team cracked, or they'd just be confused as to why Joey's on the field. Nah, Cleary's, well, actually, I can't say best ever, but Cleary's the best I've seen. I think Smith was like really, really good for a really, really long time. And we sometimes mistake that for greatness. Penalty to Melbourne right in front. I'm taking the 2 here. I'm taking the 2 if I am a member of the Melbourne Storm Rugby League Football Club. I think Grant just said taking 2. Yeah, got to take 2. Agree for sure. Seth, I think the margin of this game could be big, but I think that's definitely the professional thing to do in this situation. Get it out to 3 scores. Who kicks for Penrith now? Anyone know? Given Cleary's off the field. Five says, Cole has never proved himself, IMO. Tolau plays half most of the time in New South Wales Cup and cooked in preseason. He had a good preseason. What do you think of Schneider, though? He might be a bit more of a solid hand, as we see Cleary in the sheds. Trying not to get too emotional about it. That's what my video is about. Not a huge fan of these shots, but anyway. Glad we got to see Nathan Cleary in his underwear, everyone. That really added to the broadcast. That felt so sassy. I feel like I should follow it up with a... Anyway, meanie from in front. No surprises. Oh, hang on. I didn't update the scoreboard. If only Tiger Walker was here to remind me. That's something I haven't actually forgotten to do in a really long time. Did you get the clips from the Broncos-Raiders game? I did, NRL head. Yes. Lancaster says, I wouldn't have minded so much if we'd kept it above the waist, but did we need to see his undies? Yeah. And I've seen worse examples than that. For sure. But nonetheless. Can we make it 14 to 100? You know what, NRL head, just for you, I'll oblige. For just a fleeting moment. There you go. 14 to 100. I hope you're happy. Take your screenshots. And now we're back. Alex says, successful penalties should be 20-meter dropouts, just like missed ones. would bring going for goal into the game so much more. Successful penalties should be 20-meter dropouts just like missed ones. So you go for goal and you get the ball back from a 20-meter dropout? That is quite an interesting rule. I've never seen that suggested. I guess, well, no, you do get the ball back anyway, though, from the kickoff. So I don't mind that. It's not a huge change. Not as much as it seems originally. Anyway, Melbourne on the last. Hughes kicking from inside his half. Jeez, it's a high one. Jenkins does so well. Jenkins does so well to get under that. Good on the young fella. That's as hard a kick to take as any, I reckon. Anyway, it says Martin will probably be kicker. Liam Martin. Am I missing something? Does he kick, or are you just taking the piss? Maybe Jack Cole can kick. So 6 more for Melbourne. Jenkins with a run. Sorry, for Penrith. Jenkins with a run. And they'll have the best opportunity so far this game. Offload from Smith goes way back to Jenkins, though. Oh, and Harry Grant. Oh, him and Yo getting into it. The two captains. Yo's not happy. I think Grant kind of just ran into him, milked it potentially a little bit. Up the line says, hey, Leaguie, just wanted to say that your live streams are really good. Keep up the good work, man. You make me happy. I'm very glad to do that. What wouldn't make people happy, though, if you're a Penrith Panthers supporter, is the fact that they've just knocked the ball on. But wow, let's have a little look at this. So Grant just ran through, head down. Oh, no. I mean, I don't think he was milking it necessarily. But it was a really weird one. And Yo was really not happy with that. Lancard says, I'd change it. Make an unsuccessful still a 20 dropout. Make a successful a normal dropout. Makes the value a little different. It'd be like really powerful. It would increase point scoring, though, which is not sure. I'm not sure that's something we need to do. I'd be in favor of measures that reduce the amount of points scored, just personally. Oh yeah, Alamotti's a good kicker, isn't he? 5s. Yeah, it's a good shout. So Munster with the hit up there. On the force. He's done a fair bit of running, actually, in this first half. Playing it just behind the halfway. Alec McDonald, the chin. Obviously, one significant chin. One chin of cultural consequence has gone off the field. But Alec McDonald, that's even more pronounced. Anderson was the first one up to that kick, but did knock it on. Jenkins was going to go over the sideline. Gives it to To'o, who busts about 1 billion tackles before eventually being brought down there. So on the 0... 15 minutes and 35 seconds still left in this half. Lancaster says, I mean the opposites. So successful is 20, unsuccessful is regular. Okay, that makes more sense, I think. It would actually reduce points by reducing time spent attacking the line and would lead to more fatigue breaks to shore up. Reducing time attacking the line is interesting. That's something I haven't thought about. Shore up defense to defend against tries. You'd get more points in smaller increments. I'm really quite interested by the fact that I've never seen that suggested. So, sorry, interesting little moment there. Looked like Penrith lost it forward. Sorry, I don't think it was Yo. Someone banged it backwards and Yo just way behind the ball there ends up with it. Penrith do retain possession. Kick the ball up again towards Coates. I don't know why you'd pick him out as a target when Grant Anderson's on the other side of the field. Nothing against Anderson, but Xavier Coates is Xavier Coates. 5 says, no, Leaguie, the battle of the chins is gone because Cleary is gone. I think it's like the one time Alec McDonald will win the battle of the chins against, arguably the greatest player ever. So maybe we'll let him have this one. So kick from inside the 40, angled towards the touchline, out on the full. It didn't have the distance to be a 40-20 anyway. Was it Hughes who'd kicked that? pretty big mistake. Gives Penrith really good field position. And I would say that the Melbourne the goal line defense hasn't been tested all that much. You'd think it will happen here. They'll want to protect that 0 heading into halftime. Which is stating the obvious, but like that will be the focus rather than necessarily attack. Penrith, as they do, just finding players underneath all the time. Kenny across to Yo, inside to Lindsay Smith. Yeah, Yo's first receiver so much here. Now Sorensen. It was one-on-one with Hughes. It was a good low tackle from Hughes. Now Smith. Across to Yo. They've got the line set out wide. Jenkins. Here's some numbers. Targo to Alamotti. Beautiful. Penrith. I keep saying Melbourne instead of Penrith. Penrith get on the board. 14 points to 4. That was a nice little set play. And they say this about the best teams. Everyone knows their role no matter who comes in or out. Next man up. And they do it there with Cleary off the field. Dylan Edwards not there. The ball ends up in the hands of Jack Cole, then Jenkins. And they had heaps of numbers. And Isaac Tongo did really well to draw in both Munster and Pappenhauser. It was 2 on 2. It was 2 on 2. But Tongo here knew he had to draw in both people and just got the ball away to Alamotti. Beautiful there from the Riff. NRL Head says, do they have the same amount of tackles in the 20 as the Storm? I'm not really sure. I think Fox have that stat. Team stats. Oh yes, 3-all. Yeah. That is interesting. Is it really 3-all? That feels low. That's what Fox say. Yeah, how? I'm not really sure. Alamotti should do goal kicking. Yes, I think he will. %70 goal kicker. Jeez, he's taken 27 conversions in the NRL. That's a lot more than I would have expected. Fire says, yo, Leaguie, I'm scared for this game. Why would you be scared in a moment like this? Is it because now you've got belief? So here's Liam Martin on the conversion, according to NRL Head. Not his good side. Hits it. Nah, it's heaps out to the right. Curls back a little bit, but it will stay 14 points to 4. And now I think Melbourne are going to want to get a try before halftime because, like, 14 to 4, a 10-point lead only. I think that doesn't really reflect the side that they're playing and the dominance in terms of balance of play and field position that they've had. They do get punished for Jerome Hughes' mistake kicking out on the full. It's funny, one side can't kick out on the full when they want to, and the other side can only kick out on the full. Lancaster says 14-0 always happens when it's CT, CT, PG. Oh, like PG's penalty goal. Oh, like converted try, penalty goal. Gotcha. And I think that's because it represents an overly cautious mindset. I like the mindset. I think it's a professional mindset. Oh, Martin straight through. Howarth. Ankle broken. Ankle broken. Oh, no. No. That was a terrible thing for me to say. Oh my God, that was a terrible... I was talking about Jack Howarth. I wasn't talking about Liam Martin as he clutches his ankle. Oh no. I'm gonna get cancelled. Sorry. Oh man, yeah, he's in a lot of pain. Is that a hip drop? I don't think so. He didn't land on the back of his legs. I think they have ruled a hip drop. I don't know. I mean, it's sort of been a while since we were talking about hip drops, but I guess he did lose his footing, but he didn't land on the back of Martin's legs. Lancaster says this shouldn't be a bin. It's not a hip drop, just a swing leg causing unfortunate contact. Yeah, well, it won't be a bin, thankfully. But yeah, I know a hip drop has a very technical meaning. I feel like we throw it around a lot, and I don't think that was one. Yeah, interesting stat here from Fox. Last 10 minutes, 70% territory to Penrith. It really feels like it's shifted, and it's been on the back of penalties and errors from Melbourne. Kenny gives it to Yo, who, yeah, first receiver just all the time now. Cole seems to be playing more that Cleary style role in his ball playing, at least. Yo again, first receiver. Cole finds Sorensen. So where's Talangi in this set? Kenny gives it to Lindsay Smith. Now Yo, who runs himself. Offload to Smith. Geez, they're looking good. Potentially high contact there from Trent Loiero. No, play on. Last tackle. Jenkins puts a kick through. Pappenhausen will have to play at it. Enright says, isn't hip drop when you grab by the hip and then swing around the legs? Yeah, I don't think he did swing around the legs. He lost his footing, which is a symptom of a hip drop. But I think you also have to land on the legs of the guy you're tackling. And that's not what happened there. Big Nelson comes on and the crowd love it. It's the cult hero with a bandage on his nose. Short drop out. Looks too short. Is too short. Yeah, it doesn't bounce well. Grant saying, don't touch it, don't touch it. Lancaster says, while I agree that the mindset is a professional one, I do think it represents a very cautious mindset. Interesting, you don't see the same result for converted try, penalty goal, converted try, and that's because it has momentum. That's fair. Yeah, a very interesting observation. Six more for Penrith, really good opportunity. Cole gives it to Kenny. It was a very flat ball. Kenny in a dummy half. Six more again. Melbourne not wanting to give away another one of those. Henry looking to get an offload. It gets away completely. Has a go at the line. Doesn't quite get there. Still only the first. I said Melbourne's goal line defense hadn't been tested. It certainly has now. Talangi, oh, hit hard. Hit hard. That's what you get for leaving your inside exposed. Katoa. Now Yo digs into the line himself. Kenny gives it to Smith. Sorensen now. They're asking questions. They are really asking questions. Cole. They've got numbers here. Jenkins gets the ball out to Alamotti in the corner. He gets it. He gets it. There was a Melbourne player who ran out of the defensive line there, did not complete the tackle, and that is what created the overlap. Penrith. Really, really good resilience. Really good attitude here. Wow. You would not have seen this coming at 12 or 14-0. Lancaster evidently would have, but not me. It was Munster who ran out of the line, and just from that point, the Melbourne defensive line was at a disadvantage. Yeah, and then it was just a massive overlap. Two men there, and Pappenhausen had to chase across. And Grant. I'd say that that's a try. I don't know if he really has much control at that point, but it's definitely a try, I think. He's got enough. He's got enough on that. I'm going to move across so I'm like in the middle. I created this like beautiful little shape here for me to be in, and then I always like sit at the side of it. So Alamotti doing all the scoring for Penrith, goals and tries. Good ball playing from Jenkins as well. And Munster just ran out and didn't complete the tackle on Cole, and then it was all over from there, really. NRL head, why do you have Seagulls before Bulldogs? Yeah, it's not exactly ladder order necessarily. it's like also kind of finals order. So like, because Seagulls beat Bulldogs in the finals. And otherwise, like Melbourne would have been first. There we go. And that would have been weird because like Penrith are premiers. So this one's really from the sideline. Didn't get the first one online. This one's harder. The ball's angled out to the right, which is interesting. He'll try and swing it back from that. Oh, wow. That's a hell of a kick. I thought he'd started it out too far to the left and it was going to continue to swing around. But this is a game on. Reincarnation search a robe, says Danny. Wow. Never score first against Panthers, says NRL Head. Yeah, no, the Roosters did it right last week. Conceded an easy try early on. That's how you beat him, apparently. Leaguie just turned into Meta Leaguie. What did I do? So 6 minutes left to go in this first half. To'o with the kick return is one of the only wingers in the comp that can like really take a proper good kickoff run and make 15 meters. Mike is weird? I didn't do anything. I didn't change anything. Why? I'll fix the mic again in a moment. Oh, Nelson took out Grant Anderson. Not nice.
Computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Okay. Is the mic any better? I genuinely, like, I can't figure it out because I didn't do anything there. But anyway. Maybe this microphone just has fatigue after a little. That's better? I don't know why. All I did is mute it and unmute it. I didn't do anything. Why is this happening? Anyway. Nick Meaney sent for a HI. Oh, it wasn't Anderson. It was Meaney. I'm in all sorts right now. It's the old-fashioned turn it off and on again. Oh, I was actually gonna look at Bellamy. Leaguie HIA. Honestly, I think I need it. It's been a hell of a day working on content. Mine's gonna kick for both teams now. He could. I back him, despite the ankle problem. Kick from Cole inside his own half. Coates again, the target. I don't understand that one. Am I just like blissfully unaware of Coates' like terrible kicking form in recent games? I know him to be a really good, like solid winger under the high ball. So regardless, they have brought Wishart on in the centers, probably the most versatile man in the NRL. Pretty solid replacement. Wow, last 10 minutes, those possession stats, 14% to 86, and is only going to get higher. Oh my days, bro. Penrith could go into the sheds with a lead. Nelson, not happy. We could have 16-14 heading into the halftime break. That's crazy. I've noticed that the proportion of people who've tipped the Storm in the poll at the top of the chat is reducing. Lancaster says Melbourne are falling apart exactly as I predicted when I said they needed to score soon. You're prophetic, my bro. You've got pretty good rugby league analysis over there. You should start a YouTube channel. Actually, no, you definitely shouldn't. I don't want to be shown up. I don't want my lack of knowledge to be exposed. As they draw a penalty. Nah, Andrew Voss is saying take the two. That's a fundamentally absurd take at this scoreline. Penalty for pushing? Yeah, go for it, boys. Liam Henry with a head up. They're undermanned, but their system is there and you can see it. Yo at first receiver again. Isaiah Papali'i, a guy who he is due a bit of a moment. Cole across to Liam Martin. Arla says Dylan Brown signing's a bit risky in my opinion. I'll get into that at halftime. There's too much happening. On the third, now inside the 20 of the Penrith Panthers, Kenny. Oh, ball, I think, touched there by Storm. Is it 6 more? Surprised it's not. Jenkins dummies and goes himself, nearly gets through. Now Kenny across to Henry, who kicks himself. Did I hear 6 more? There was no signal of 6 more. On the last, okay. Whatever. Cole puts a little grubber kick through, and it will be put dead by Anderson. Yeah, Lancaster, I agree with what you said there. We specialize in different spaces of the game. I've always been much better in terms of like organizational side of it, and like how to grow the game, how to run the game, than the tactical side of it. Although I've watched a heap of rugby league in my life, and actually in the last, like, I'd say 3 or 4 years, my tactical knowledge has gone up massively. Yeah, I'm better at the structural stuff. They go short again, tap back by Penrith, tap back again by Penrith, ends up with Jenkins. Big run there, hits all Liam Henry. Nelson rips at the ball. Henry gets it again. What is this game? What is this game? What is... Lancaster, analyze this. What is going on? Liam Martin nearly gets away from Munster. Wow, 1:43 left. Kenny dummy half finds you. I'd settle down just a tad here. Papali'i tackled pretty convincingly. 2 left. Kenny goes to Cole. Goes short to Sorensen. 1 more. Kenny will be at dummy half. Finds Cole again. Puts a kick up. Tongue goes underneath it. Ah, but it's taken well there by Jack Howarth, who nearly gets away from Liam Martin. That was a good take. That was a good take. Good scramble defense from the Melbourne Storm. It was all happening. Wow. NRI says they just need to run at full speed at Storm. Oh, sorry. I didn't have my usual Pepsi Max before this. Maybe I'll have that at halftime. I mean, Storm was certainly scattered. So might have been effective. Definitely in the wet conditions, you do tend to see a bit more momentum in their contact with the sliding as well. So ball goes low there to Howarth. Coates was just a bit too high. I think he was anticipating a kick. Only 30 seconds left here. They go the short side. It'll be 6 more, but it'll be over the touchline. I agree with what Lancaster said. Penrith will go into halftime confident. Melbourne might well lose this game even if they go into halftime up. It's all Panthers momentum right now. For sure it is. Play the ball. Yeah, it did look like they were going to go the 2-point. But the clock will just tick down, I think. Forward pass. Okay. Jeez, not often have I been that fatigued after a first half, but there was just so much to say. That was a weird ass first half. It looked like it could be really dangerous early on with Melbourne getting out to a lead. Craig is not happy. He is aggressively jotting something or other down there. Wow. NRS says, bro getting sponsored? Is bro? That's news to me. Ain't no sponsors approached me. Actually, I want to say on sponsors, so I obviously want to make this my career if I possibly can, and all the NRL creators that have made this their career have gambling sponsors, but that ain't something that I'm gonna do. And I actually, like, I want to make that commitment. I'll make that commitment aside of a live stream as well. But as well, another thing which I didn't realize, but when I originally set up my channel, you can go in the back end of YouTube and like make it so that certain ads don't appear on your channel. And I made it so that gambling and alcohol ads don't appear. So that's good. I mean, I'm gonna leave it like that. That will always be the case. You'll never see a gambling ad on the Leaguie unless times are really tough. But no, you won't. So yeah, just wanted to make that commitment. Pepsi Max, actually, that's true. And Arrowhead, they should sponsor me. I certainly drink enough of it. If they could like give me a free supply, I think I wouldn't need other sponsorships, because like that's where half of my income goes. Kenny says Liam Henry might be the coldest MF in the league. What can he not do? That's not what I normally would have associated with Liam Henry, but regardless, it was the weirdest half ever. It was the weirdest half. Nas has 0 completed hit-ups? Nah. Really? So I'm looking at NRL.com here. That's wild. How many minutes has he played? 10. Wow, I thought it was something. 4 run meters of NRL.com. Jesus. And 1 error, obviously. That's poor. He has a grand total of 1 fantasy point. So does Tui Kamakamitha. That's pretty grim. Ethan Cleary picked up 5. Awesome. I'll get a grand total of 10 fantasy points from Cleary this week. That makes me just so happy. Hala says the NRL media are scared of the Leaguie. They're going to be after my video on Saturday. Let's just say. Brown signing. Yes. So, I covered it on LeaguieCast, which I obviously highly recommend you watching. But, you know, that was about a 10-minute video. I can give you the summary of it now. I think it's being way too negatively portrayed. People are like, well, he's not a halfback, so why are they paying him to be a halfback? They're not paying him to be a halfback. If you've watched Newcastle in recent weeks, Ponga is just so ball dominant. They're playing Ponga ball, right? Ponga is the one who's, if anything, doing the organizational side of things, and even the kicking. So you don't need a really structural game managing halfback, dominant halfback, up in Newcastle. It's why Jack Cogger's pretty effective. He's a halfback, sure, but he's played really well at 6 before in his career, and that's sort of in some ways what he's doing now. So Brown can just go up there and be a running threat, take some pressure off Ponga. When you're playing against the Newcastle Knights, you have to allocate more than one player to Kalen Ponga defensively, and that will free up the opportunities for someone like Brown to do what he does. I think a half partnership of Brown and Sharp could go really good. So, yeah, I mean, the money is there to spend, right? Jackson Hastings is on big money. Tyson Gamble, a better example, Jaden Brayley, who's departing the club. He would have been on good money. You're freeing up the money. Sign one of the best halves in the league, one of the best, well, young halves, let's say. I know he's 24, but you can have 10 years left in your career at that point if you're a half. Evidently, the Newcastle Knights thing he does. So, could be really good value purchase at the end of the day. Danny says, Brown is one of the all-time great stories of the NRL, and no one is changing my mind. I can't hate him no matter what. I don't actually know what his story is, so that's interesting to hear. Maybe you can tell us what his story is. NRL Head says they signed him to keep Ponga. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure if Ponga was ever realistically going to leave. But regardless, I do support the signing. Doesn't he get paid more if the cap goes up? He probably does have ratchet clauses, actually. That's fair. I haven't seen the contract, but that is pretty commonplace now. But nonetheless, I think, you know, in terms of, like, even with proportions of the cap, we're seeing halves paid more and more, like greater proportions of the salary cap. So I don't mind it. I really don't. Links to All Blacks Ponga. I mean, I don't know how substantial those were, though, because he's linked to everyone. He's linked to Roosters. He was always just linked with moving away and then never actually showed any interest in doing so, it felt like. Lancaster said, yeah, Ponga is dead set playing 1 in defense, 7 in attack. It's still way too big a contract, but I can understand the plan, even if I think it's a bad call. I have, definitely reservations over the length. I don't have reservations over the salary so much. But if that's the gamble Newcastle had to take, I think I said this on League Cast, right? I very much have the opinion that if you're not winning the premiership, kind of what are you doing? Like, there's not a whole lot of points setting up to finish 6th, and you're like, okay, good, that was a good season, but then reverting back beyond that. The fact is, to win a premiership, especially when you're a team like Newcastle, who are not one of the bigger teams in the league, they're not a big Sydney team, they're not Brisbane, they're not Melbourne, you do have to take pretty significant gambles to win a premiership, right? If they roll the dice on Dylan Brown and it doesn't work, okay, they didn't win a premiership. If they didn't sign him and they went into the future with a Haas partnership of Sharp and Cogger, you're not going to win a premiership anyway. So there's to me, there's no difference between those two outcomes. Call me a utilitarian if you want to get into philosophy and stuff, but I judge things based on the outcome. So I don't mind them rolling the dice, and sure, it's probably going to go wrong. Chances are they won't win a comp. I don't know, but I don't mind them taking that chance. That's my 2 cents. That's my opinion. Arlo says they're relying on Ponga, which is getting him injured more often, so they need more wiggle room with players to fall back on instead of just Ponga all the time. Well, Arlo, me and you have discussed this in the past, their reliance on Ponga. Great, they've gone out and fixed that now. They've got another guy. So, yeah, it's good. I like it. Lancaster says at the end of his comment there, sadly, this does confirm that Moses will never get a ring. It's true. Moses has lost his Pookie Bear. Actually, I said this on Reddit this morning. I'm curious to know what you guys think. I left a comment being like, I was in the shower this morning and I just came up with a random rumor that Mitch Moses wants to leave Parramatta and join his Pookie Bear Dylan Brown at the Knights and become the next Joey Johns. And I wrote at the end, how many days before the Mole, who's a Channel 9 journalist, reports on this? And the joke is that the Mole will just like report anything. And it gave me an idea. I could do a video where I try and get just a completely fabricated rumor, this thing I've just come up with out of nowhere, actually in like, reported by the Mole or reported by James Hooper or something like that. I think that'd be a really fun video idea. I don't know how realistic it is. I'd have to literally try it. But I think it would be a good one. So, Kelsey says Fletcher Sharp is playing really good for the Knights. Yes, he is. He's exceeded my expectations and the expectations of many others, who view him as a winger, but he came through as a half. We know that now, and yeah, his running threat is just really, really good. Lancaster says, I responded to that saying to try and get this done. See, this is the thing. I don't know your Reddit username. So, but I know the comment. So, yes, okay, I've now connected those two. NRL says April Fool's. It would be a really good April Fool's idea, and I actually discussed that with someone just earlier. The only thing is that I'm not sure there's enough time. Maybe there is, but like I'd have to set up a real like convincing background story, and to get that done in 10 days is pretty optimistic. And I do have another idea for that time period, so we'll see. Alex says Leaguie outing himself as a Zealand watcher. I'm actually not. Has he done that? But I have my best mate follows him, so I do have like a lot of kind of similar video ideas to things that he's done that my mate suggests me. Meanie Broken Jaw? I've not been listening. Meanie Broken Jaw, Nass is currently looking beaten with a sack of doorknobs. Wow, okay. Meanie Broken Jaw. So Wishart will finish off this game at center. Okay. Sorry. Danny has given the story. Here we go. I'll read this out. He came from a poor background, always loved NRL, and he left NZ by himself as a young fella. The dedication to the sport to not only leave your lower class family by yourself, go through all the grades and be one of the best young fellas in the league and a grand finalist in 2022. Yeah, so that's a really cool story. Sorry, just you mentioned the grand finalist thing. This is what I mean when I talk about the way that the Brown deal has been reported. On NRL 360, the day of, right? Braithen Astor says, you know, 1.3 million for a half. He's never won a comp. He's never even come close. Brother, he made a grand final. He made a literal grand final. What do you mean? Granted, they weren't competitive in that grand final, but I would call making a grand final coming pretty close to winning a premiership, wouldn't you? I don't know. Anyway. My cat watching the stream with me. I tell you what, YouTube are robbing me here because they should make the view count one higher than if your cat's watching as well. Mega Milo says, is Cleary out for next week because of Category 1? Yeah, he will be actually. Who do they have next week? Penrith Panthers, take on the Bunnies at Accor Stadium. Wayne Bennett rejoices. He will be out. Kelsey says, how many halves do you think you could name better than Brown? Because he does not deserve his money. He's on, because I can name at least 20 past and present. Oh, if you go past and present, you certainly can. Most definitely. But in terms of now, the thing is you have to account for his age. Certainly on current form, there's a lot of halves that are better. But on potential, I'd say that there's only a handful that have a more promising future. TXRL says, I don't know who's going to win now with Meaney and Cleary gone. I'd still back Melbourne. I reckon they're going to get a little bit of a bake from Belzer from Bellyache at halftime. Brown in the top 10 says at our head, are we talking halves or are we talking 5/8? If it's halves, he's not top 10 right now. I mean, just off the top of my head, you'd have Cleary better, Luai better, Cherry Evans better, obviously Chad Townsend better. no, Munster better, Hughes better, Reynolds better, Burton better. I'm consulting my wall. Moses better. Actually, that's only 8. Dearden better, Hines better. Comfortably, I think. Probably Galvin on current form, maybe. Current form, though, that's the thing. Yeah, past and present doesn't count. Have to agree. Lancaster says, I love this ad. Nothing else we trust Chemist Warehouse like them casually revealing confidential information. It is very true. I didn't get that ad. I get ACT ads. It's really like area specific, but I know the ad you mean. And yeah, like the people just coming in and being like, yeah, his pet bills are super high and stuff like that. I thought it's so. I assume this is the ad you're talking about. It was shown a lot last year. It has such a weird tone. It's like really up and about, like, you know, so-and-so has this like kind of that loves to eat biodegradable food, or loves to eat natural organic food, but he can't afford it because of the cost of living. So-and-so really loves his dog, but his pet bills are like, you know, it's such a weird dynamic. I'm doing marketing this semester at university, so like I'm more acutely aware of these things now. I don't think they did it super well, but at least it's memorable. Alex says, stressful tonight, but massively tickling the old ADHD watching this. The Socceroos game and the Round Ball Australia stream at once. I didn't even know the Socceroos are playing. Who are they playing against? Kelsey says, as a Dragons fan, I hope Zach Lomax is sad he left us. Just wishing harm on Lomax. Wow. Okay, Storm are running back out onto the field. Just give me a moment. I'm going to go grab a drink. I'll be back in a sec. I want to make one thing abundantly clear. I didn't even like Red Bull. I do not condone this product. But a while ago, I bought a bunch of them out of my own curiosity, being a Formula One fan. And I have them in store for emergency situations. And this is one of them, because this game was freaking hectic, and I currently don't have the stamina to see through this half. So, Penrith kick off. If you want to sync up with me, that is the moment. Let's see. Very, very interesting to see how Melbourne especially start this half, I think. Alex says we're 3-0. We're up 3-0 in World Cup qualifying at the half. That's good. But they've increased the number of teams in the World Cup. So, like, we should obviously qualify. Versus Indonesia? Yeah, okay. 3-0 up against Indonesia. So what? Sorry, Ozzy says your opinion on, I reckon Man might be better. Yeah, I like Man. From a playing perspective, not from a driving perspective. Wanted to make that abundantly clear. Not the biggest fan of Man as an individual right now. But he's a good player. And Arrowhead says, bro, why am I at the same time as you, but I didn't change nothing? I don't know. Jenkins, good take there. Tackled by Grant. Get the nose beard child runner over out of the conversation. Yeah. Yeah, I'll steer... Oh my god, I was going to say I'll steer clear of that conversation. You just can't. You just can't get around it. Wow. Yeah, Red Bull's not nice. Leaguie reviews. Red Bull sugar-free. Not a nice tasting beverage. Galvin's better than him. Yeah, I think I said Galvin. On current form. Lancaster, here we go. I think he's a fantastic driver. Bro's the rating Dodgem Cars Clive Churchill medalist. Yeah, he just... No, you know what? I'm actually not going to entertain that. Not going to go near it. Good take from Coates. Why? Okay, I'm going to consult the prophet Lancaster himself. From a rugby league tactical analyst perspective, why are they kicking it to Coates still? Surely they can adapt. They do get the ball back. Oh my god, they could score here. Oh! Are they ruling advantage? To me, that's advantage. What? How is that not taking advantage? How? They tried to score a try. They were one pass away from an old-fashioned rugby league NRL 4-point try. How is that not taking advantage? That's advantage. They had like a clear-cut opportunity of scoring a try. That is an advantage. Ah. I get emotional about the rules of the game sometimes. I'm sorry. Hopefully it's good content. I think because they didn't play the ball. But that's not, as far as I'm aware, that's not part of the rule. It's just become part of the rule because we've extended the meaning of advantage so much. Good run, Papali'i. So Kenny with the pass again to Yo. Does he play first receiver this often? I don't think he does. I think it is a bit more than usual. Out the back to Cole. Goes himself. I expect their game plan is to catch him early. Granderson is a far inferior on the kick returns hit up. So, okay, that makes sense. Waiting and catching Coates means he can prevent him from running till tackle 2, which means he probably won't take a hit up that set. That's fair. That's actually a really good shout. It's just been interesting because they've seem to have contested a number of those kicks. So if you're going to contest, why do that? Knock on, Nelson? Oh my god. Nelson's having a stinker. I think I saw something written. I think I might have seen the word Cleary written on NASA's wristband. I'm just going back to look. No, I'm completely wrong. Nelson has been so bad. Love the man, but he's been bad today, says Danny. Agree. He's had a old-fashioned rugby league stinker. Lancaster says, if you're there and you feel up to it, why not contest? Oh! Off the scrum! It's the lead for the Penrith Panthers. And it's going to be, well, it's level now. It's going to be the lead. Right under the post, off the scrum. Craig Bellamy's probably not even got back to the coach's box yet. Nelson, I said this in the first half, that Melbourne were dominating the contact, but off the errors, off the mistakes. And that was simple. One pass off the scrum. That's like, it doesn't get more soft. NRA has told you Panthers would have won. Well, 35 minutes to go. I certainly didn't see this coming. NRL says, don't diss Nas. He has touched the ball. I'm dissing Nas from the safety of my own home. I was going to say dormitory. I mean, it is technically a uni dormitory. From the safety of my own home, because he's a very intimidating man. How was the hole that big? Damn. Lancaster says, someone check NASA's sports bet. Jesus. See, I mean, not that I want to condone sports bet whatsoever, because you will lose money on sports bet if you bet. Gambling is bad and wrong. Alamotti, from in front, and I'll do my best not to forget to update the scoreboard this time. They're booing him, understandably so, but Melbourneites, that's not going to do anything. There we go. Wow. Who would have thunk it? This has been really an entertaining game. It's just been, I mean, they say game of two halves. Like, there was just a kind of a split when all of a sudden Penrith just started dominating field position. The chances were given to them, as Danny's saying, and there we go. They've absolutely capitalized. Undermanned. You know what I've actually got out of this? Nathan Cleary, fraud. You heard it here first. Penrith don't even need him to beat the best team in the premiership. Absolutely overrated. I would have Dylan Brown, personally. That's just my opinion. I'd have Dylan Brown over Cleary. Does Cleary deserve to play first grade? These are the questions you need to be asking in a situation like this. Would you go Nathan Cleary or Jet Cleary at this point in time, given what we're watching right now? I'm just asking the question. They got Cole. Bro lost all his knowledge, says NRL head. I'm taking the piss. I'm taking the ever-living piss, bro. Don't worry. Lancaster says, Nelson winning 9 Dally M points. Man of the match performance for Penrith. Sorry, he plays for who? How many fantasy points has he got now? Let's have a little look. It's going to be grim viewing. 17 minutes gone. 3. He's got 3. Missed 2 tackles. Oh my god, 3 errors. He's made 3 errors. He's made 23 meters and made 3 errors. For every 8 meters he runs, he makes an error. It's better than Walsh last week. Walsh was, I mean, I think that's different though. Walsh making an error is trying to create something in attack. Nas making an error is very different to that. Munster across to Pappenhausen. Digged into the line. Did well not to pass. There wasn't really the space there. Now on the last. Munster with the ball. Puts a high kick up. Being chased through Coates. Gets it. Oh, he's claiming it. He's claiming it. And it's on the board. Jeez, he's box office. The game against Parramatta, I was listening to that on the radio, but when I heard them go nuts, when I heard Dan Ganane go nuts on Triple M about the put down that he scored off that kick, I was like, I gotta watch this. I started watching it, and my god. I mean, it was better than this one, but he had so much work to do. Panthers all around him, but really good set play there. High up above everyone else. Jenkins sort of caught flat-footed and ball gets to the ground. Yeah, no, I don't think he's lost that. Yeah, Piakura week 1. That was terrible. Walsh's performance last week, all-time Brox with absolutely no diamonds. It was. And, like, his confidence wasn't there. You could sort of tell. But at the same time, like, that's him. Right? Sometimes it will be all rocks, no diamonds. Sometimes it will be all diamonds, no rocks. That's him at the moment. I think Michael Maguire will be really good for him in that sense, and just increase the amount of diamonds, make him know when to pull the trigger, when not to pull the trigger. But last week was, yeah, a bit of an all-time stinker. I'll be real. Danny says, I don't think he's gotten down. Really? Nah, he surely got that. I can't see an angle where it touches the ground. No, I can see angles where it looks like it has. I certainly can't see grass on ball, but it was ruled as a try, and so it was given as one. Pappenhausen with the kick. Lovely. 20 points to 16. Good kick from my beloved Flying Dutchman, Ryan Pappenhausen. And it's Melbourne 20 beating the Penrith Panthers 16. Aldo says, Leaguie music always slaps. It was genuinely like, I don't know how I found this music. I think I just searched up like copyright-free live stream music, and it was the first one that came up. But yeah, I love it. I don't actually get to hear it very much. I can't hear it right now. But sometimes I watch back the live streams, little bits and here and there, and so I hear it there. Okay. Penrith kicking it off. So that was, you have to say, sort of against the way this game has been trending. So the poll has been running. I'm gonna end the poll. 74% of people think Storm are gonna win, but I'm gonna start it again now because I think this is a really interesting time to ask the question. I'm gonna say who wins from here? Storm, Panthers. For the record, my tip has always been Storm. Even when Penrith took the lead, I would still have said Storm. Lancaster disagrees with me about Walsh, saying, I don't think Madge will get him to do more diamonds. Those come on their own. Will hopefully reduce the rocks, though, which is honestly a better result. Well, yeah, okay, it depends how you're taking the metaphor. But yes, that's sort of what I mean. You're reducing the number of errors. To me, that kind of means improving the execution as well. But yes, at times, I guess you're right. At times when he would have, what I'm trying to say is at times when he would have pulled the trigger and it would have been a rock, he no longer will. NRL Head says, I just hope that Ezra plays like he does against Panthers in the 2023 Grand Final. If he doesn't, he is easily the person with the most potential that didn't fulfill it. I mean, that was like an all-time performance though. Like that's not the standard. That's the exception. Everyone's still saying Penrith. Well, not everyone. People in the chat are still saying Penrith. Brody, good to see you back. I remember you. The BMX. Danny says, I'm a #1 Kenny hater, but it's actually been so good. Why are you a Kenny hater? Talangi with a kick. Super high. Bounces. Oh, geez, ends up in the hands of Pappenhausen. Just about on the fingertips. Could have knocked that on pretty easily. And the poll is 50-50 after admittedly only 6 votes. Where's all the votes? Where are they gone? Aussie says, so many people saying he's underrated, he's overrated by this point. It was the same with Mitchell Orbison, actually. I used to say that about Orbison. Everyone was like, when he retired, they were like, how did he never play Origin? It's absurd, he never played Origin. There was never a single point, and this will be the same with Kenny as well. There was never a single point in his whole career where an Origin team was named and you were like, where's Mitch Orbison? They'll say it about Mitch Kenny, I'm sure, given all the premierships that he's won. There is never a point where the Blues side is named and they're like, hold up, where's Kenny though? Where Kenny at? No one's like, oh my god, they killed Kenny. It just doesn't happen. Blake Brayley is better. I like Blake Brayley. I think Kenny's arguably the best defensive hooker in the league though, and that's often overlooked. NRL Head says, I think Naz got an extra point for running to the bench. Probably helps the Storm's chances, to be fair. Oh, God. Sorry. So, for those of you who don't remember, I think it was the last stream. The whole end of it, everyone was just speaking Dutch. There was one guy in the chat that knew how to speak Dutch, and I was reading out his chats in Dutch, and then everyone just Google translated into Dutch. I'm not starting this up again. BMX Brody, not starting it. Can't do it. I think it really annoyed some people. Anyway, sorry, I should focus on the game. I'm talking about the chat too much. I do love you guys, though. I love that you always give me so much to talk about. But just briefly, Alex Neil is correct. Same with John Sutton, only 300 gamer premiership winner to never play Origin. But yeah, Was there a point where they were like, oh yeah, where's Sutton? Oh, now we've got an injury here. It looks like Anderson. It is the knee. Yikes. So let's see what's happened here. Garner going low, or just no. It's not. It's a non-contact injury. Just gets caught in the grass. Grabs the knee. They're not good ones. These are the ones you don't like to see. It's just hard to comment on this. It's the worst injury to see when you're pretty sure what it is. Having a look if NRL Physio said anything. I'm part of his sort of Instagram channel. Yeah, not sure I can access it right now. And I learned actually at the end of last year, the fact that he's walking off the field doesn't actually really mean anything. It's not a good sign. It's not a bad sign. So normally I'd be like, oh yeah, and he's walking off. That's sort of encouraging, but no, it's not really. There's an interchange off Anderson on King. Yeah, who have they moved to centre? Because Wishart obviously can't go there. Is it Blore? No, it's Howarth. Howarth and Coates on one side. Bailey's probably the most underrated hooker I've seen. I do like him a lot. So okay, Howarth and Coates still understood, but what, Wishart on the wing? He can play wing. Oh, and Katoa at centre. Okay, right. There was a question from Daniel. It says, hey, Leaguie, thoughts on centralising Friday/Saturday night games in Sydney at Moorpark/Combank? I feel like this would help get more casual fans to the games. You mean giving like double headers and stuff in those areas? I know this isn't what you're talking about, but it was announced last week that during, I think it was the week after Indigenous round, there's going to be a lot of games played over the course of a weekend at Allianz, and it's going to be sort of an Indigenous ceremony. So that'd be cool. I used to kind of be of the mindset that, like, because I grew up with the Sydney Football Stadium being the Roosters' home. So I thought initially it should kind of be theirs, but over time, I've kind of thought, like, they've had their moment there now. We need to get other teams into there. It's such a good venue. I really think more games at Allianz certainly would be better. Your favorite front rower, says B Mal. That's a good question. Who are the front rowers on my wall? Tino? No, Tino's not there anymore. He was there last year. I don't know. If you can see a front rower on this wall, then it's probably him, because I don't think there's many. Carrigan, Haas. Let's go with them. Melbourne just now, after getting that try, they do seem to have all the running. Oh, you're saying Marnie's the best defensive hooker. You said Maloney earlier, and I thought you were taking the piss. Oh, what a kick there through. Munster gets the ball, offload, ends up with Lindsay Smith. Or is it Jenkins? No, it's Jenkins. The two blondies, I'm getting them confused. Wow. To'o busting tackles left, right, and centre. Geez, away from another one. He's just... What a guy. What a player. Brian To'o. Geez, still 24 minutes left in this game. That is crazy. Lancaster says, of course, Tom Jenkins plays like he's on ketamine at nights, but now plays fullback against Melbourne for Penrith and plays a legacy game. It's pretty true. He was a bit putrid at Newcastle. Couldn't crack the side at all. But it's that Penrith system, man. Cole with the big kick. Okay, now goes down the way of Wishart. That makes sense to be the target now. Runs well, though. Gets us to about 15 metres out from his own goal line. Hughes goes himself, try to catch Talangi offside. Does he? I think he does. Yes, okay, very astute from Jerome Hughes there. I feel like I'm celebrating Melbourne things more. I don't know. I don't know why that would necessarily be the case. Maybe it's just a predisposition in my head after the last 4 years to just not want Penrith to win. Or am I a Penrith fan? And I'm actually just having you all. Lancaster says, Penrith system's so good, if Ivan let me play 3 games as a favour, I could get, live out my dream of playing Origin. Thoughts on Brayley's statistic? Oh, sorry, they're talking about injury. Oh, they're not concerned, okay. It really looked bad. Let me look for that Brayley. Oh, 60 tackles in Vegas from Brayley. Yeah, I mean, he's so good. Him and McInnes being in the front row, sorry, in the forward pack, just 2 tackling machines. Speaking of tackling machines, good tackle there from Penrith. Melbourne looked like a very good chance of scoring now. Big ball out wide. It's Wishart. That was a bit of an all or nothing pass from Jerome Hughes, but he gets it done. Wishart on the wing. And now that scoreline just creeping out a little bit. Good play from Hughes though. Off the back of the line break. The Penrith defense wasn't quite all back. How was the play the ball? Yeah, it was a quick one. Quick enough. And Hughes just it was begging to be intercepted by To'o there. But he got it done. That's a really good halfback try. Well, not the halfback scored it, but the halfback certainly created it. Lancaster says, good boy Hughes, you're my fantasy captain, do that more. Yeah, Cleary being mine. Not good. Have you got any Knights games planned? I don't actually really have a plan so much this year. Normally I will plan out all my games. I am going to Newcastle for the NRLW Magic Round though. So I'm going to Newcastle. According to Fox, tackled in opposition 20 is 21 to the Panthers, 5 to the Storm. Granted, I think Storm have kind of attacked from range at times with their tries. We saw that first, was it the second try, Katoa, with the kick that was pretty early there from Munster. It's not like they've been camped down on the Penrith line all that much, but that's a really interesting stat. 21 to 5. It's huge. So Ryan Pappenhausen from the sideline here. Sorry, oh, not quite from the sideline actually. It is from fairway in. Oh, shanks it. Oh, here we go. So Daniel clarifies his question. I mean moving games that would be at the traditional suburban grounds on Friday, Saturday night games to Allianz or Combank, respective to closer to home territory. Can't say I'm a big fan of it. I used to be a big fan of moving away from the suburban grounds and having these higher quality stadiums. I would be in favor of building a stadium in Liverpool for the Tigers and the Bulldogs to share. But seeing the scenes at Belmore, the fact they can get 20,000 there, I do love that, and I think it's a real lifeblood of our game. And I think that if you had a game scheduled for, let's say, Campbelltown, and there was high demand, so you moved it out to Combank, I think you're disenfranchising a lot of people, which is my concern there. So I would go suburban. I'm a fan of refurbishing these suburban grounds as opposed to building necessarily. brand new big ones. In terms of rebuilding Belmore, or like, well, the thing is, you've got the train track, so you can't really, it's hard to rebuild, but refurbish it, definitely. I think that's a good call. Daniel says, definitely should keep suburban grounds, but use them for weekend day games. Centralize the big games in the better stadiums. Thoughts on that, Leaguie? I was saying, just check Blake Brayley's stats. 61 tackles in Vegas, 43 in Townsville. He's actually going crazy. I'm curious, how does that compare to McInnes? Because I've always known McInnes as like the best guy in terms of just racking up tackles. It helps as an 80-minute hooker though, Brayley. Okay, promising signs there for Anderson. It looked like he'd done his ACL for sure, but he's looking okay. Off topic, but who wins from here? That's super duper on topic, bro. I'm sticking with Storm. I always have this whole game. Kenny to Yo, now out to Cole. They've got some numbers here. Casey McLean into the tiniest of gaps there between Hughes and Katoa, but it is cut down. Delilah, good to see you. Ball bounces. Pappenhausen has to chase it. Can't escape. Oh, he winced a little bit there. No, he's okay. He just, as soon as you see Ryan Pappenhausen wince, it's just, oh no. McKenna's got 78 right now. Is that in total? Surely that's in total. That's not average. Off topic from Brayley. Yeah, no, true. They're chanting off. What are they talking about? Short dropout, we'll see from Pappenhausen. It's got the distance. Oh, and Penrith, I think, knocked it back to Coates. He tries to run around the Panthers. He's just got to straighten. Did Panthers get the first touch to that? I hate the short dropouts, says NRL Head. So did I. I would increase the length to 20. Just because I don't want to see the kicking team get the ball back. I'm sorry. I just don't. I think it's almost completely removed the building pressure aspect. That's what halfbacks like Cooper Cronk used to be so good at. Dropout after dropout, repeat set after repeat set. You can't call them repeat sets anymore. That's not what they are. Lancaster earlier said, like, does everyone remember McDonald Jones Stadium during Knights 2023 11 in a row run? Greatest scenes I've ever seen. The scenes of Dom Young like running. I think it was in the finals. He scored a breakaway try from memory, or maybe it was in the last few rounds. Beautiful. Chip and chase for a monster. It's a bit cute. Not sure about that. Good to see you back, Cobra. Daniel says, realistically, it would only affect 2 out of 8 games around, and that's likely to be less since Bronx always get the Friday night game. That is true. Yeah, I don't completely mind it in terms of like wanting to fulfill demand if the demand is there, but I'm skeptical as to the fans that would make the trip. I fear you're making it less convenient for fans. Oh, Alamotti down the sideline. Gets away from 1, gets away from 2. 1-on-1 with Pappenhausen. What a tackle from Pappenhausen on a significantly bigger human being. That's a hell of a tackle. Leota with the ball on the 4th. Has the arm free, but no one to pass it to. It approaches the sideline. So Penrith with 1 left here. They don't need to try desperately, but they want one soon. Cole puts the ball up. Crossfield kick. Underneath it is Casey McLean. And they're going to rule knock on from Penrith. Wow. What a tackle, Pappenhausen. B-Mal says, do you reckon Xavier Coates is the best ever PNG player? Oof. That's a really good question. David Mead was really... No, actually, Adrian Lamb. Adrian Lamb, I think, has a better legacy in the NRL. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. I have not said who I like, Delilah. That remains a secret, so for the foreseeable future, that's for sure. 5 says, will Penrith having no blue bet affect them this year? Need expert opinion. If you need expert opinion, you were in the wrong place. But no. In all seriousness, yes, it will most definitely affect them. Just the sense of like when you would go to blue bet as an opposing team, it's intimidating. The whole place packed through with Panthers fans. It in itself was intimidating. CommBank isn't that. It's a really good stadium, but you can't create the same soul there. It's not the same salt of the earth kind of vibe. And it's a place that players play at a lot more frequently. So it's just a little bit watered down. It will certainly affect them. Whether the effect will be really big or not, that's hard to tell, and really only time will tell us that. But yes, it will have an effect. Daniel said it would also... Oh, so this is talking about Daniel's plan. It would get the fans used to traveling. Remember Sharks finals last year, 20k at finals was terrible. That's very true. I was really disappointed with that, especially because Allianz is sort of on the T4 line. You get to Central and then there's a light rail. And that T4 line in Sydney runs through the whole Sutherland Shire. I live in the Shire. I catch it all the time. I was really disappointed at the lack of fans who made the trip out for that. Hey, Leaguie, Alamotti or Tongo? I'd go Tongo. He's just a little bit more established. And it says if you get rid of Leichhardt, I'll bloody shank you. Have you seen my video about why Leichhardt should be binned? He's trying to throw us off. Maybe I am. I don't know. Hughes across the monster. Now Pappenhausen knocks it on. The ball was just a bit out in front of him. And Monster did well to put the ball into touch so Tongo couldn't get it. And Ryan says he likes Sharks. I could. It was the last stream. Something happened. Maybe. Allegedly. Like us says, Pappy's been the best spine member of both teams. I know if best on ground, probably picking up 6 points. And then I'm so sorry, Pappenhausen, that drop ball was my fault. How do you give the commentator's curse when you're not the commentator? That was the commenter's curse. That's what that was. Alex says, conspiracy theory that League is a Panthers fan and won't admit it for fear of people thinking he's a bandwagoner. And it'd be a very valid reason for me to not reveal my team, actually. There was someone on Reddit, I don't know if it was you, Alex, because I do recognize your name. You said, I knew you were a Panthers fan. It might have been you. Your name rings a bell. Ozzy says, Leaguie, is 2016 your favorite year? Right. Bro, that's such a transparent question. If I say yes, I'm a Sharks fan. You're not going to trick me with that. So 13 minutes to go. 8-point gap in this game. Again, we're still not in a position where Penrith are super desperate, but it's now been a while since they scored. What minute did they score their try? 44th, Casey McLean. So it's been some time, just in terms of confidence. They'll want something. And Ryan says, bro, come on, there's 15 people here, just say you're a Sharks fan. Screen recording is a thing, my brother. They had a brief 3-on-2 there, Penrith, but shut down well. Talangi with the ball. Cole puts the kick in. Pappenhausen catches it. Oh, but it's a knock on again. It'll be 6 more. They've got numbers. Coach, what a tackle. What a tackle. Oh, man. I'm going to talk through this set, then I'll address the rumors. Here's the chance. You're not going to get a better chance in this game. Pappenhausen a bit caught there. Is okay. 6 again. They're stacked on the short side. They're stacked on the short side. Liam Martin so close. Penalty. Oof. Wow. And you could just settle a little bit. Get the feeling Melbourne maybe needed that. It was a 6 again anyway. And here we go again. Sorensen running the ball up. A bit slow there, Kenny, from dummy half. Lindsay Smith hits it up. They've settled a little bit here. Not the worst thing. Jenkins goes himself. Lacking a little bit of structure so far in this set, but still 3 to go. Kenny gives it to Yo. Short ball, Lindsay Smith. Now they've got numbers. Talangi, give it to the winger. Brian To'o gets over. It's 24-20. It's the mirror image of the try they scored for Paul Alamotti earlier in this game. Wow. I said that this was going to be a bit of a scoreline for the Melbourne Storm, and it just hasn't been. I'd say they've dominated the play, but errors have cost them, and Penrith have been able to capitalise at any given opportunity. Lancaster, I'm going to read through the chat a bit. Speaking of Sharks, I still can't believe how young Trindle is. It's only 25 or 26. Bro, looks like he's a 37-year-old mildly alcoholic bricklayer. I've got to start referring to him as the mildly alcoholic bricklayer. I am surprised because it feels like he's been around a long time. But he's been really patient at Cronulla, and I think I admire that. He was heavily linked with the Dragons when they were pursuing either him or Atkinson. But I think he's waited out his time behind Moylan originally, and then even a bit behind Atkinson last year. I think he's shown a lot of loyalty and deserves to be commended for that. Ian Huss's porch light is on for Leaguie. I have been pretty open about the fact that I live in the Shire though, so that fact I haven't tried to hide. Alamotti from the sideline in what would be a significantly bigger kick if Cleary was on the field, being a bigger 2-point field goal. But nonetheless, points are on offer. Inside 10 minutes to go, you want to be taking all the points you can get. Starts it out to the right, bending back, but not quite enough, and it will remain 24-20, and they need a try. They need a try. Lancaster says, me being able to comment as Curse Pappy is proof of my analysis is equal to any of the commentators. It is. It certainly is. Danny says, Leaguie, is that a valid reason for wanting my home in Leichhardt staying? Is what a valid reason? Oh, about falling in love with Moses, Teddy, and Brooks. No, it is not, unfortunately. I'm sorry. The Tigers are not going to get better by focusing on the past, and Leichhardt is the past. Campbelltown is the future. That's where their demographic is. They have an entire other Penrith. I've said this before. An entire other Penrith demographically out there. That's where they need to be focusing. That's just me. Lancaster says, fun fact, before last week, Penrith won 44 in a row whenever Bizzers scored a try. It's the good luck charm. For some reason, it just occurred to me the other day that his name's Brian. He is not a Brian. He's not fooling anybody. As Jenkins knocks it on. We're talking about Jenkins' legacy game. Costly error. But no, okay. Chat, am I tripping? Or is Brian Toto just not a Brian? And maybe I've watched too much Family Guy and I picture a white dog. But a Brian is a middle-aged white man. Is not a Samoan throbber. The Toto part is completely reasonable, but Brian? Why Brian? This is the awesome analysis that you get on the Leaguie. Pappenhausen off the strum. Krabby across the field there. With 8 minutes left to go, a try wouldn't exactly fully seal it, but it would go 90% of the way to doing that. That's actually a good question, Arrowhead. Did they design Amy Park for the Storm as a cloud? I really doubt it, but that's an interesting connection. 6 again, Monster with the ball. Daniel, I'll get to your question after this set, because my answer is yes. Howarth. I'm just distracted by Lancaster's comment. I need to stop reading chat. I need to stop being so nice to you guys and start commentating the freaking game. 24-20, Grant gives it to Kamikamitha one-on-one with Cole. Can't quite get there. The momentum is stopped. Grant. Now to Hughes. Munster trying to find Pappenhausen. Will find Pappenhausen, and you'd have to think that's the game. Munster's kicking game has been so good in this match. And this will be 30 points to 20 in a moment. The Flying Dutchman seals the game, says Danny. And if I don't mind saying so myself, dat was prachtig. That was beautiful from my beloved Flying Dutchman. Hell yeah. It's the Melbourne Spine at their best. Big pass there from Grant to Hughes. Gives it on to Munster, who squares it up. Puts the kick in for Ryan Pappenhausen. It's the Big Four putting the Penrith Panthers, who've won their Big Four in a row, to the sword. And as Ryan Pappenhausen throws the ball up into the Melbourne Storm crowd with his big roar, you'd have to think that they've set the tone in terms of being the team to beat in this year's premiership. Jeez, poetry flowing right now. Yeah, sorry, Daniel. Would you ever consider moving an NRL team? Do you think 9 Sydney teams can actually continue to grow and develop players? It can develop players for sure. Growing is an interesting word because I would say the Sydney market is rather saturated, so no. This will help dispel some of the Sharks allegations. Moving a team is really hard, but I did used to say that if you're going to move a team, move Cronulla, just because they've got the Dragons above them and the Dragons below them. It kind of makes sense. The Dragons would then have a hell of a junior base, which I wouldn't mind completely. You're sort of resurrecting a historic club who have struggled, and that used to be their junior area regardless, so that kind of makes sense. It'd be a really big move, as Pappenhausen's going to kick this for sure. Yeah, he does. It'd be a big move, and there'd certainly be a generation of Sharks fans who you might disenfranchise a bit, but for long-term gain, I think it makes sense. I used to like the idea of Perth Sharks, then Perth Bears came in. But certainly, like with PNG and now, if we want 20, I think we need one in Perth. I think we need one in New Zealand. I wouldn't mind one in Adelaide even. So already then that would take us to 21. If we have to move a Sydney team to Adelaide, I'd admire our ambition in doing so. Let's put it that way. Obviously then I'd have to move to Adelaide being a Sharks supporter. That's the only downside. I can't go see my beloved Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. Alex Neal says, yeah, like Craig is a completely normal name to me, but I can't imagine someone naming a baby Craig. That's actually really true. Who names a baby Craig? Sorry, I want to give some love to what Lancaster said earlier. I just love his son's name. This is Brian Toto. Auretius Gohan Rome Stephanie Toto. And yes, I do know it by heart. I might be able to rap it if I was drunk enough. Is that legit? Is that his son's name? Does he have a son? I know Luai has a son. I wouldn't put it past Brian to call his son that. That's a hell of a name. Wow. Successful challenge here from Melbourne. Not like they needed it. Leaguie's a Sharks fan. South Sharks would sound nice. It would. I like South Australian Sharks. Actually, should I say this? I think this is okay for me to say. Back in the day, I wrote an article for zerotackle.com about why my team should relocate. And it was an absolutely terrible take, maybe. Or it might have been a great take, depending on who I support. Daniel says, what about Barmain West split? Western Suburbs is league heartland and deserves a strong team, so merge them with... No, do not merge them with Panthers. Do not merge it. Bro, do you want 10 in a row? Do you want to... No, sorry, Daniel, sorry. I've been a bit harsh. But no. That would be absurd. You couldn't... they'd be too strong. Atreus Gohan Rome Stefan Vito. That's insane. Ball from Talangi across to Yo, now to Jack Cole. Had Jenkins out the back and they had numbers, couldn't find them. They need a try here. Kenny gives it to Yo. Katoa was up there on him, now in the hands of Garner. They've got numbers. Toto in the corner again. They'll get their try. God, this is a bit reminiscent of last week. Penrith just don't go away. They do not go away. It's the father of Atreus. I've never played God of War. I don't know. Toto over in the corner. Pappenhausen never had a chance. Daniel Tupou could do that, but not Ryan Pappenhausen. And understandably so. 30 points to 24. Kick to come. My God, what a game of rugby league. Even when Penrith lose games, and I think they will still lose this, even when they lose games, they are still up to it to their eyeballs. Jeez, look at all those seagulls flying around. Hello, Maine Stallion. Is it Maine or is it Mane, like the old Liverpool player? I think it's Maine, because you've never corrected me yet. So, Paul Alamotti from the sideline. Ah, it's a stinker. It's a 6-point game. That's actually pretty big, given he's kicking. Yeah, Maine, respectfully, please don't do the Dutch thing again. It caused so much chaos last time. Okay, it is Maine. Good. I love how, in telling me how to pronounce Maine, you just type Maine. And then you clarify. And Ryan says, who knows, I can blaze the thing from Minecraft. The blaze rod, not the blaze rod. Oh my God, Grant Anderson's on the field? Call an ambulance, but not for me. Wow. He was meant to be out for the year. That's what it looked like. Wow. If Panthers lose, they'll be 1 and 2. They will also be in 11th with only 2 points. I mean, it'd be 2 very, very hard-earned losses. God damn. Lancaster says, this is ridiculous. Panthers just refuse to acknowledge when they've been beaten. That's what Ivan said in their press conference last week. They're spreading it. Scoring out on the wing is sort of no good to them, though. Tungo flirting with the sideline. Gets the ball back in field. Knock on from Liam Martin. Oh, he's not happy. Giving it to Munster. That's a big moment. That's a tremendous moment. Lancaster, from my memory, you're a very big field goal enthusiast. Do you go the easy field goal here? Fully put it away? Penalty Penrith? Oh, Munster, what have you done? Oh, he's not happy at all. That was so unnecessary. That was so unnecessary. That didn't have to happen at all. Penrith have a golden chance. The Seagulls are into it. Not the Seagulls. Melbourne had it nearly done. They had it nearly closed. Liam Martin's the happiest man in the world right now. Yeah, look, Daniel, I agree that the link between Balmain and Campbelltown doesn't really make sense, but I think they should focus on Campbelltown. Penrith, second tackle on halfway. Kenny across to Isaiah Yeo, gives it to Papali'i. This game has taken us right up until the very end. Oh, it's on the ball. Well, yeah, what is the rule if the ball hits a bird? Cole puts it down. And Wishart puts it down as well. With 1:45 left. Clock ticking down. Penrith have to pack this scrum. This clock is still ticking. Penrith are losing their opportunity here. Anyway, yeah, so Daniel says, I agree, Panthers and West would be strong, but honestly it makes no sense that Balmain's there. Split stadium, split fans, split identity. Plus, does West even make a diff to riff juniors-wise? It does. Like, yes, Galvin would be great right now, but honestly, what Tigers Junior in the last 4 years is a major upgrade on any Penrith player. Look, that's fair, but the Tigers haven't been able to retain those guys. Like James Tedesco, I believe is a Camden Junior from out there. Dream Buller. I can't remember if Moses is a junior of the Balmain area or the West area, but like, imagine you had all the guys Penrith have as well as like freaking Buller, Moses, whatever. So Maine says, I released the 100 sub special not long ago. It's the fight fit and I put you in it. The fight fit. I've got to have a look at this after the stream. Do you mind? Okay. Would you like me to watch it on stream? It'll take me a second to set up. I won't watch it on stream if you don't want me to, because I actually kind of oppose reaction content. But with your permission, if that's what you'd like, I can do it. Quote from Jenkins, 30 seconds left. It's a miracle from here. Across the top, who juggles the ball? They need to spread it. They're not going to break the line with hit up. 17 seconds left. 16. They have to spread it. They will spread it. Martin's on the wing. Why is Martin on the wing? Cole, dummies, goes himself. 9 seconds to go. One more opportunity here. Talangi, oh, he went to kick it. He'll just be wrapped up. That's the game. 30 points to 24. And Melbourne, with a really hard-fought win, Penrith would not go away. The errors will not please Craig Bellamy. But wow. Monster can't believe the game that's just unfolded. Jack Cole's bleeding. It's all, what a frantic game. Jeez, I would not have wanted to be a Penrith Panthers fan after the last couple of weeks. The heart palpitations you would have gone through. Holy. Goodness. Daniel says, I'm a South supporter, but for the love of rugby league, I'd merge with the Roosters. I'd revamp New South Wales Cup as the traditional NRL team's grounds. It would be impossible to do. And to be fair, there does come a point where I want to respect the history of the game and not merge those two teams. But if you were starting a comp from scratch, you wouldn't put the Sydney Roosters there. You'd definitely combine them with the Rabbitohs. So from that perspective, then yes. Wow. Okay. I will set up here a little watch of Main's video. Just need a sec though. Okay. So, Main's Galleon. Which AFL and NRL YouTuber I could beat in a fight? Well, oh, I'm in the thumbnail. That's very flattering. Thank you. Hang on.
You know, there is a thing where, there's always questions. Which AFL YouTuber or NRL YouTuber, because I'm personally mixed, would come? I reckon he will probably be in the fair fight section. He can probably get the perks of fighting. He is older than me, so he can take me. And he does support Carlton, so I probably remind him of Nick Newman and all their other injuries that they have. I reckon I can still take this one slightly, but it's still a fair fight. Because, biased. Me biased. Leaguie?
Sorry, I was muted. Okay. Sorry. As I said, I wasn't able to see the chat earlier. As I said, I won't stream this whole thing because I don't want to just broadcast the whole video, but I'll watch my bit.
Because I've still got to finish off school. We got 12 and might as well start off now. Now we got Skipper. I reckon he will probably be in the fair fight section. He can probably get the perks of fighting. He is older than me, so he can take me. And he does support Carlton, so I probably remind him of Nick Newman and all their other injuries that they have. I reckon I can still take this one slightly, but it's still a fair fight.
I'm not still muted,
biased.
right? No.
Me biased. Yeah. Leaguie.
Okay.
He's the first ever NRL YouTuber I've watched, and he's been at it for not long now, so he's.
Oh, hang on, I'm in the way.
Me, but still, not long. But I destroy him. I will probably interrogate him.
So it's put me in KO.
Actually, no. I'll probably put it up here, because I reckon I will interrogate him, find out which team he supports.
I need to move myself over. Hang on.
Apparently, he doesn't support a team, which is
okay. There we go.
Annoying. last time I went on one of his streams, he did say who he quote unquote supports, but he's still lying. I reckon.
Still
Well, he
lying.
is still lying. He admitted it, but you know, I reckon I can take him. I'll destroy him. I will
Wow.
end his career.
Wow.
Me right now, League. I will knock you out, little bro.
Hey, these are little
But,
bro.
you know, he did like, you know, want a boxing match in the next 2 to 3 years, maybe less. I don't know, but I killed him. Coast Club, one of the first ever.
Holy. End my career, you reckon? That's a fighting words. Them's are fighting words. And little bro, there's a bit of disrespect in there, honestly. NRL Head says I would not take that. I don't know if personally I would take that. That's a bit of a violation. I'm gonna be real. Wow. No, look. I think you mentioned in there that you have yet to finish school. So you probably beat me from the perspective that I don't want to beat up a kid. I don't want to beat up a child. But no, that's interesting. There's been a couple of people that have made videos about me. None of them have said they want to beat the living daylights out of me, though. So that's an interesting one to have for making NRL content. Are you here, man? I can't see you in the chat. Time for controversy, he said. NRL Head says, watch my videos. Okay, I do have to go soon because I have to edit the video that will come out on Saturday. But NRL Head, if you send the link to a video in the chat, one video you want me to see, as long as it's like a kind of short one, then. Alex says, yo, Leaguey, thoughts on the future of Origin if the international game becomes as relevant as like Union, or the game grows offshore to the point that France or USA can develop top flight talent. Look, I have always said that I don't think Origin is the future of developing our sport, simply because no one overseas knows what a New South Wales or a Queensland is. Sort of to give an analogy, imagine if like ice hockey came over to Australia and played North versus South Carolina. Even if they said like this is the biggest game and the highest standard, like we wouldn't really care. England, Fiji, Samoa, Australia, New Zealand, these are names that they know. So international is the future. Main Stanley says, I'm here, read my last comment, and it's about one of the tiers. What was the last comment? I just see you're muted. It's probably before that. Uh-oh, haha. Uh-oh, time for controversy. Thoughts on the Brandon Smith news? Was that it? The Brandon, okay, I will say thoughts on the Brandon Smith news is really interesting. I'm curious as to how they're going to use him, but the revenge arc from Brandon Smith against the Roosters is kind of insane. I'm absolutely here for it. Okay, I'll watch NRL Head short. I need to. Okay, here we go. What do we got here? Oh. If you get me to monetize, by the way. That's a lot. That's pretty cold. That's pretty cold. That's a Nathan Cleary-esque performance from you. Good stuff. And I'll watch Cobra's one, and then I will have to go, ladies and gents. Oh, okay, sorry. My main said, no, I said I would kill the content creator, but I decided that it was too dark. That's the top tier. Right. I think that maybe didn't show up in the chat. I noticed YouTube like kind of blocks certain comments, and maybe like the word kill. I don't know. I don't do it. I have never blocked a comment. They kill the content creator. Wow, that's even more threatening. As someone who you put in that category, should I be a little bit concerned? Let's see what Cobra's got. By the way, for the shorts that I'm watching, guys, like absolutely want to make it clear that I want you to go and like, hang on. I want you to go and support these guys. These guys support me, and on the whole, yeah, I oppose reaction content and just broadcasting the entirety of someone else's work, but these people have asked for it, so. Oh, it's me.
Be quiet.
Bit quiet? Am I quiet?
Stop it.
Oh, the cat. Sorry.
Be quiet.
I thought it was telling me to be quiet. I was like, nice. I'll give that a solid like. So I didn't give NRL heads one a like. Anyway, hopefully you guys go and like. I do. Okay, jeez, NRL head's begging. One more. I'll give NRL head one more, and then I'm gonna go. What do we got? What do we got from? Oh no, that's my chat. I copied the wrong link. How do I? I'm trying to copy. Okay, it's not letting me do it in OBS. Hang on. This one, and then I'm done. Yeah. And I'll do it. You send these messages, and then like I can't copy the thing you said. Okay. One more, and then we're. That's funny. You're not looking to make a particularly good impression there, my bro. Ah, Cobra with the donation. What a wonderful way to end the stream. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. You fully supplement my income, Green Cobra. It's all because of you, genuinely. Thank you. Main Sally says, I'm planning to make fun of the Cowboys tomorrow. I think you'll get a golden opportunity too, my friend. I reckon yous will go good. Although, to be fair, I reckon that yous would have... Sorry, I reckon that Melbourne would have won by a lot more today. So what do I know about the great sport of rugby league? Anyway, that is where I will leave it. My next stream, I think, is the Sunday games. Yes, it is the Sunday games. So be here on Sunday. It's going to be fun. The double header, we'll do it all together. I personally really like the Sunday ones. It's just a good vibe. Everyone's here. So thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to get to editing now on Saturday, probably at about midday. The best video I've ever made is coming out. It has the potential to change things, really change things. And I'm so excited about it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you all for hanging out. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.